Hello, Mr. Demon. Yeah, that's a hard voice to make. Uh, who disturbs me? Uh, I'm Hand Quinn. Who or what are you? Speak to me with respect, elven mortal. I am Draxigal Shaitan, Lord of Baptism. My apologies. What are you doing here, great Lord of Baptism? I have been imprisoned here by the sorceress Sulfair of House Silandri, bound for 6,000 years in this solitude. For what purpose? It is a long tale. Do you wish to hear it? I'm listening. The sorceress Sulfair constructed this place deep within the Kalamir Mountains in order to capture me with the ritual of Blader binding. She summoned me forth and placed an astral chain around me. It holds me here tethered to this spot. It is an enchantment that cannot be broken and lasts for all time. She did this in order to demand a service. In exchange for my freedom, I was to give her with a liquid drop of my eternal soul. She was to imbue this drop into wine, with which she meant to grant her lover, a human named Arcadian, immortality. And what happened? We Bartezu do not take kindly to demands. We do not tolerate imprisonment for the service of mortals. I had to obey, however, and drafted a contract with the sorceress. I gave the gift as she requested, but it carried more than she asked for, more than just the immortality of my essence. Abatezu's soul is a dark thing, and its parts cannot be separated into components as can an alchemist's potions. The drop I gave carried with it my dark essence, which tainted the clean human blood of Arcanian. It corrupted his soul and deformed his body. Her gift doomed him for all time. It was justice. She received the gift she asked for. Even the greatest of mortal sorcerers can be fools at times. Her obsession put a shroud over her wisdom. Nevertheless, with the contract met, I was free. So why are you here now? She captured me again. Normally that is impossible after a contract has been met. But this Sulhair was a being of great talent. She summoned me forth and again placed the astral chain around me. Then what? Then nothing. She did not ask for anything. She knew it was beyond my power to cleanse Arcanian's soul once it had been tainted. She brought me here only to exact revenge, but it was her doing, not mine, which brought events to this day. Please explain. Twisted in pain and horror, Arcadian abandoned her. He left this sanctum and set off for the surface. In a moment of unthinking anger, Sulthair uttered a terrible curse, encasing him forever within a crystal obelisk. He is still there, slowly moving away from this place, seeking to leave the caverns. The sun will melt the crystal and release him into oblivion, but that will not come to pass for thousands and thousands of years. And Sulthair, what of her? Sulthair, she has gone mad. Her body is long dead, but her elven spirit still haunts this tomb, waiting for her lover to return. She has forgotten all that happened, waiting endlessly in denial of her own guilt. She will await this way for all eternity.
Can anything be done to help Sufere?
She wants nothing. She has defied her existence into pure patience, and is content in her sorrow, content to wait for all time. You cannot ask the rain to stop falling, for it would no longer be rain.
So she is helpless?
No, she is anything but helpless. Her spirit still commands all the formidable powers of the creature she once was. She can rise from her throne at any moment, but she does not wish to. She is content with her eternity of waiting.
Hmm. And what of Arcanian? Can anything be done to help him?
You must understand, mortal, the terrible nature of the curse that Suther had bestowed upon him. It is a force that mortals should never wield. It is the kind of power that makes God shudder. No, there is nothing that can ever help Arcanian. Only time will free him. A monstrous, unbearable length of time.
I see. May I ask something else? Who are you again? Um, you know how he was in prison? Um, how can I escape this tomb?
You must release me, and in turn I will take you to the surface world.
Uh, yeah, I don't see how that could possibly go well in any way. With the impossible demon with a man-sized sword in one hand and being forcefully imprisoned here for thousands of years. I don't think he's basically just going to take this all. No, he's not gonna put his tail between his legs and just run away, is he? And dealing with demons, or devils in this case, I suppose, is the it never ends well in the long term. Never. Even exceptionally gifted mentally uh, can be tricked or somehow or tripped into having some kind of a little condition that ends up biting their, or an oversight ends up biting them in the ass. And while I have some intelligence, I'm still stupid, and I'm not exceptionally intelligent. So I don't think I have the capabilities of making a good deal out of here, and I wouldn't want to release the demon in the first place, or devil, whatever it happens to be in this game. Demonic form of some kind. I refuse. I will not release a creature such as you.
Then you shall remain here for eternity.
Well, surely there is some other solution.
No, if you wish to leave this place, you will learn the incantation which forged the astral chains and speak it here in reverse. That is how I will be released, and only then will I help you escape the tomb.
Hmm. And where can I learn this incantation?
I do not know. Perhaps you can find it among Sylvain's possessions. Perhaps you can learn it from the witch herself, or from one of her servants. But find it, or else we will both spend eternity within this tomb. Go now, Return to me when you know the words. Then we will discuss our contract.
Well, I'll try to find the incantation. We don't have to use it, but we need a way out of here. Very well, I will try to find this incantation. Yeah, doesn't look like there's anything of interest here. There's nothing wrong with the queen, though. Or sorceress. Ooh, sorcerer woman. Why doesn't he interact with anything? Maybe we can trigger her somehow. I'm gonna talk to her servant about it though first. That's her tomb, that's where the servant is. But there is the other guy's tomb too. Who was he? Arcanian. Can't interact with her in any way. The ghostly form of the elven woman appears before you, although her features are those of youth, her eyes betray a chilling sense of eternity. Must be something you can do. This would be Arcanian's tomb. It had the poisoned wine with the demon, and it was on some body. Then there's his tomb that had equipment pieces belonging to him. I think I have the helm. The helm gives your wearer great confidence and resolve. I have his sword. There's armors and other things. Hmm. Maybe we can do something with those. We need more information. I want to know what the fuck my options even are. Demon, make a deal with the devil. That seems to be one option, but that's the I don't want to take that. Chaotic good. Uh, Releasing that kind of demon into the world. Just yeah, it's not really an option. I would have to be very desperate before I do that.
Does the mistress request something?
No, it's I. Hand. Can you answer some questions? Uh, do you know the incantation of planar binding?
I do not.
It is a spell cast long ago by your mistress. Can you tell me how to dispel it?
I do not know.
Does Suthair know? Can you ask her for me?
I do not ask of the Lady Suthair. She only asks me, and she does not remember.
What do you mean she does not remember? How do you know?
The Lady Suthair has banished her memories, locked them away. It eases the burden of the waiting.
She has locked her memories away. How? Where?
They haunted her, so she banished them. She keeps them in the Hall of Memories.
Uh, and how do I enter this hall?
I can open the door for you, if you wish.
Yes, please. Ah,
It is done. Be cautious within the hall. The memories of the Lady Suthair are dark and cruel.
well, I don't see any harm in not taking a look. We need some way to either, well, we need probably the incantation, but we might also figure out a way to interact with the Soothsayer herself. Ghouls, shadows, ellipse.
I have to lighten this load. Finish as you should.
Holy shit. He's using strength draining attacks. Few of those hits and I'm dead. Stay on target. You're dead after the next hit. Yeah, this is the situation where we use Potion of Lesser Restoration.
We won't both walk away from this.
Oh fuck. Is everyone switching targets? Irene is a bit diseased, but I should be able to heal that. Sometimes if a memory is painful enough, it will take on the form of a shadowy spirit. It's best to leave such spirits alone lest you awaken their pain. I'll take your word for it. What's all this then? Shrug. Why am I here? Going to talk to the memories? You can't say that I need to leave them alone and then just expect me to talk to them. What is it? Soothsayer Silendrith. The eyes of this elven apparition contain a mixture of despair and hatred. I have a bad feeling about this place, my friend. As do I, Larian. What do you think are these creatures that wander around here? I believe they are shadows of the past, of memories so painful that they have taken form. Let us leave them be. The game is very explicit that we should just let it go. Okay? Can't interact with this one. I bow in prayer to you, Lapidas Enore, elven god of time and longevity, and beg you to hear my request. The gift that you have given to all the elves, both the virtuous and the vile, I ask that you give it to my beloved. My beloved Arcanian. But the god did not listen. Ooh. Oh, memories aid us, which is nice. Except that they stole my experience points. Not that I'm gonna get another level up though, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. Also, she left no loot. So am I going to have to base memories and just kill them? In order to achieve what exactly? Until I get the incantation, right? That's how it has to work. Ooh, another one. Actually, you can stay
Wait here
there.
a moment.
I'm going to lure him or her when she attacks to these guys again. I plead with you, Nurgle, god of decay and age. Release your hold on my beloved. I offer you all my wealth, the souls of my servants, and my loyalty for all time. Please release my beloved Arcanian from your wasting decay. But the god did not answer. Oh, that's a fire attack spell. Excellent. Anyone attacking her in melee is gonna feel the pain.
Taste of my
And she has no hope of surviving this. Except that it's a stone skin. I have a few fire arrows, those should go right through it. But the fire shield will protect her.
perish. Taste of my wrath. Let the earth take you. Now, strike swiftly.
So how many there are still left? Arcanian. The face of this ghostly knight is contorted in pain.
Wait here a moment.
This wine shall quench my thirst. Thank you, love. The pain inside me. What foul taste is this? My soul is tainted with hell's blood. My body deforms into the form of a beast. How could you have committed this abominable act, foolish woman? I shall never lay eyes on you again.
Mm-hmm. I could try to lure him up there with the rest.
Now, strike swiftly. Stay close. Now, strike swiftly.
Well, he'll buy me time at least, if nothing else.
Taste of my wrath!
Move, get the fuck out. Ah, yeah. How good of a attack throw was it? Arcanian attacks, critical hit. So, natural 20. Yeah.
My steel will strike true.
I think archery is gonna have to do here. Still, it's only gonna buy time. And that time is running out.
My steel will strike true.
Ah, new memories. And fuck me. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping the henchman up.
Wait here a moment. I will attempt.
Just knowing that the memories renew, that's good enough. So if we get into trouble, we'll just need him to attack us. Lure him away from a second to get reinforcements. So we're never meant to fight against these, they're too strong for us. We do have the... What does Flame Leash can do? I'm sort of trying to save my resources because it looks like we might have to go against either the demon or the woman. Both would be very tough fights, and that's without any aids.
You will regret that. Stay close and step where I step. Stay close and step. Now, strike swiftly.
Try to keep our distance so he'll pick other targets at all opportunity.
Stay close and step where I step. Now! My...
The bow was the best purchase I ever did.
Stay close. And step where I step. Now! Strike swiftly. Now! Stay close.
Run, 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 run.
Step where I
Let
step.
them deal with it.
Now! Strike swiftly.
Frozen tear. Frozen within crystalline ice is a single human tear. Has no use, so it has to be used. Now there's a there. Ah, he has left. He has abandoned me. I cannot bear it. It shall not pass. Let his name be cursed. He shall not leave this place, not until the mountain itself has crumbled to dust. She seems to be mad about something. She's popping herself, I guess. Someone direboar.
Regret that.
Well, the spirit should delay her a while. Also, there's a lot of... Ooh, fuck.
You will regret that.
And I'm paralyzed. And I'm dead. Yeah, the paralysis is pretty bad. It's I literally can't do shit. I think I would have to go for something like invisibility. That might be my only hope. Or get a lucky saving throw success, something like that. Larian, I think it's better if you just get the fuck out of the way in this case.
Wait here a moment. I will attempt it.
Where the
Now,
fuck did you come from?
strike swiftly.
We have to be somewhat careful. I can hear her doing her nasty deeds there. It might be enough if we just stay out of her way, because the memories keep respawning. Sooner or later they'll get her. You just drink the fucking potion.
Wait here a moment. I will attempt it.
Yeah. Is she regenerating? No, but she has true seeing. I think I'll go where the surviving memories are. Doesn't seem to have the fire shield anymore. I'll probably kill the pig, but nothing else. And there's new memories spawning up. So it's basically an infinite cycle of memories, just slashing her. They are getting some damage through. I'm thinking of using a summoned creature, but at the same time, we have infinite amount of free allies pretty much here, so is that really necessary? Although I don't see some of these guys respawning yet. Well, there's at least a couple of memories. Yeah, if I don't see extra memories, I'll use the summoned creature scroll.
We won't both walk away from this. Stay close and step where I step. Now! Strike swiftly!
So close, so close. We probably
Taste of my
managed to
wrath!
kill it just before he gets to kill those. Still, we're running out of memories. And, or rather, defensive units we can use as buffer. Now they're reappearing. So we have this set of memories for each fight. What is it this time? It's the demon. For your betrayal, your breach of contract, you shall suffer, demon. Zrakat Raiktan Hegex. I think that's about it. I have seen the visions in the Hall of Memories and heard their laments. The spirits of The spirit of Suther spoke these words as it relived the binding of the other demon, Drakat Reithan Egex. If I say these words in reverse in the presence of the Batezu, this will unmake the astral chain and release him. I shudder to think what will happen then, but it seems I have no choice. I'm not sure about that. I'm certainly not gonna. That's not gonna be plan A, let's put it that way. By my command, you are bound. We did get the tier. The human's tier. That has to mean that there's something else we can do. Otherwise, why would even bother giving it? Has to be something we can do with Suther. This time there will be no request. Or pity.
Stay close and step where I
Let,
step.
let her waste her spells on...
Now! Strike swiftly!
For some reason she isn't casting anything.
Stay
Ooh,
close
she noticed us.
and step where
Until...
I step.
Good, good. Let the spirits take the first round of spells. They are mostly immune to it anyway. We'll just function as backup.
Wait here a moment. I will attempt it.
She died already.
Now! Strike swiftly!
I don't understand how. Unless they got some kind of negative effects functioning on her, they could not have killed her. Edict of Banishment. By speaking the Edict of Banishment, the caster sacrifices a portion of his or her life force, turning it into a beam of pure light. If this light is directed at any form of planar being, either celestial or fiendish, that being is immediately banished from the prime material plane and imprisoned in limbo for a period of 1000 years. There is no saving throw or magical resistance is of no use against the power of this spell. The price that the caster pays for using this spell, however, is significant. He or she permanently loses 1 level of experience. Well, I'd rather take that than release the spirit. But that doesn't still give us an answer what to do with it
Now!
here.
Strike swiftly! Stay close. Now! Strike swiftly!
The big problem is I can't go back to the crystal god man anymore. So it can't be that. The portal isn't working. It has to be something here. It has to be the sorcerer. Do you know about something? What does it mean it exists in patience? Right. They just wait. He's of no use. Might be able to defeat him in battle. But what would be the point? I need someone to basically react to the tear somehow. But there aren't that many people here who can even speak. Maybe a couple of the prisoners could. Puppet, for example. You wouldn't happen to react to the tear itself? Is it usable, by the way? I don't think so. No, it's frozen within crystalline ice is a single human tear. The problem is I can't interact with her. I need some kind of reaction from her. I can't initiate anything. I'm going back to his tomb, see if I can figure out something. Arcanian Galenin. Any ideas on
Is there
you?
something you wish? Is there something you wish?
No. He has nothing to add.
We won't both walk away from this.
Right, I think that was where we found the bottle. We also have to be aware of the fact that the guy never died here. This isn't his resting place. Not the actual resting place of his body. Treasure had the poison. It had nothing else. So that's the poison. That was the dwarf, so that has to be the tomb. I think I dropped the dwarf's diary. It wasn't that interesting anyway. More or less just that we know how to expect that there's something hostile in the summoning chamber. Right. So protected by a field of traps. This ancient sarcophagus is covered in runes. The only decipherable word you can make out is sorrow. Well, we could try to use that. I'm not sure how saying sorrow to the sorcerers would really aid us in any way. Tower shield. This is a standard item. This magnificent armor is made from the scales of the ancient white dragon bestowed to wearer with some of the creature's natural defenses. It seems like a standard armor too.
I have to lighten this load.
Yeah. I know I'm heavily encumbered, but I don't really have other ideas. It's gonna be a painful trek to the sorcerer, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, we're going to go with a plan A, B, C. I'm going to hold this extra equipment to the in front of the sorcerer first. Before I'm going to try anything, I'm going to talk to the prisoners. If I can get someone to talk to about the tier I have. Plan A is to get some kind of reaction out of the sorcerer. Needing short of attacking, we'll try saying the guy's full name, Sorrow. We'll try to put on the armor and everything that shit, anything to get some kind of reaction. Plan B is to sacrifice a character level and banish the demon. Although it's not good enough, it doesn't let us escape. So we basically need to get him to open a path for us out of here, then we need to banish the demon. Yeah, that seems like a plan that can go wrong in so many ways. Plan C is to make a deal with the demon. Yeah, this is gonna be a long trek. have potions of strength or something. Yep. I think this might have been a better adventure without the sidekick, to be honest.
Now! Strike swiftly!
Would have had to sneak more, use resources better, sort of thing. Wouldn't have to. You could have actually escaped from situations because there's no one to be left behind. I'm not 100% sure about our plan, plan A. The problem I have with that is I already have the. Well, I haven't used the sword actually that the guy had, but I did already have the one equipment piece. To be fair, I didn't have all of them. The problem I have with that is it's heavy armor. Heavy. This is not something most people can equip. So I doubt it can be a solution to anything. It requires certain feats, actually medium armor. But anyway, there's a lot of classes that couldn't possibly even use this. Same with the weapon, so yeah, it would be odd to have some kind of a solution that would require something so specific. The tier is the key. That's what I don't know how to use it. Problem is exactly it's not any kind of usable. I'm not sure how a crystalline tier is supposed to help. Maybe I could talk to or go to the altar of the god of time with the tier. Maybe I could try to combine the two parts of the broken heart. That's what. So that's included in Plan A. I just want these equipment pieces out of this hole. Slow progression. I'm sure some of it will work. Maybe I shouldn't have released the guy in agony so soon. So basically bartered with him for information in exchange for release. I'm gonna dump all the night equipment here. Then head upstairs, try the other solutions. Try to get more clues. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's go. Can I talk to this noblewoman? No, they seem to act their own little show without any interaction from anyone. We lost Broken Heart Pearl and the Broken Tear. Because we put them there, yeah. We didn't actually lose shit. Right.
I have to lighten this load.
How exactly are you gonna restore this shit? Having obtained the two halves of the Heart Pearl, I tried putting them together. Unfortunately, although it is clear that they once fit perfectly, time has worn the edges of each, and now the gem cannot be restored. Each half is still valuable, but surely nothing like the original. Okay, at least. That's somewhat encouraging. Because it means some of these ideas actually might lead to something. Ballroom, kitchen. I leave. What point does the wall come up here? So I'm guessing it's just that the portal doesn't work. I'm visiting these places basically to refresh my mind about what's exactly here. Not much. Also, there might be some kind of a thing happening if I try to escape. There is no escape, that's the thing. So, unless we figure out something, there is no escape. Right. There was an altar here, on the left side. Symbol of a sword driven through the riding white dragon. This would be the husband. Small altar rests before you. Maybe I can restore the tear here. No. Game says no. Running out of options. It is only asks questions. I don't think this will go anywhere. So it's we'll have to do something with the sorceress. Either that or the demon. There has to be a way to use the fucking tier. Um, I suppose it's possible that you're not supposed to use it here. It's that once you've secured your escape, you can use it on the Crystal Man. Maybe? We could try the guy's full name and the demon's name or her name. Something to get a reaction. Okay.
I have to lighten this load.
Yeah. Just press like an idiot. I don't recall were there any other equipment pieces. Cloak, maybe? Yeah, I have no recollection. But looking at it, I don't see anything that jumps out, so I'm gonna assume no. Let's try some of the names. But Jesus. Arcanian? Yes, it's totally me. Is there any way I can increase my charisma somehow? Because I have, I don't bluff. So there's basically zero chance that this is gonna work if I have to lie about this. And I think I might. No, I don't have. Wonderful. Ah, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll just have to. Just have to take it. See where this goes. Can I interact with you now? Arcanian, is it you? Uh, we can lie. Yes, my love, I have returned. Or, no, sorry, I'm Hand Gwen. Can I ask? It seems like if I take the number 2 option, it basically gets interrupted. I I think she doesn't give a shit about us if we are not Arcanian. I'm gonna try to lie, but this has like this has no chance of success. Absolutely none. But we saved, so let's see how she horribly murders us after we lie to her. Is it really true? 1 point toward chaotic. Well, I'm chaotic good, and it's my life. It's either this or trying to make a deal with the devil, so yeah, I'll take this. Is it really true? You have returned after all these years. Yes, I have, and I need your help. Of course, anything you wish, my love. Uh, can you tell me how I can leave this place? Yeah, this is gonna go down so fucking well with her. Leave? But why would you want to leave? The last time the fucker did this, she cursed him so badly that he's had to spend thousands of years trying to get out of this place. So yeah, I think this can backfire badly, now that I think about this more. I have duties to attend to, responsibilities in the surface world.
course, but can't you stay just a little while? I've been waiting here for so very long.
I must go. Can you help me? Or I guess we're gonna go with the lineup. I'm just leaving for a short time. I promise that I will return soon. Well, it is a standard crazy bitch strategy. You lie until your tongue turns black and you get the fuck out of there. That's how you deal with crazy people. I'm just leaving for a short time. I promise that I will return soon.
Okay, I will be patient, my love.
So, can you help me go back to the surface, or
Yes, but can you please leave something behind? I cannot bear to be parted from you again.
what would you like? Okay, this has to be the tier. What would you like me to leave for you?
Just one tear. Leave me one of your tears so that I can feel that you are near me.
Okay, but not right now. I need to do something else first. Be back soon. Why not now? Don't I have it? Did I leave it somewhere or something? That's frozen tear right there. Either way, it succeeded, so save. Yeah. I have returned.
Have you brought a tear for me?
Yes, I have. Here it is.
Thank you, my love. I will hold it near my heart as I await your return.
And can you help me get back to the surface world?
Yes, love. Do you wish to go now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yes, please. Please.
I shall create a portal for you to pass through.
Please proceed.
The portal is in the summoning chamber. You can pass through it when you wish.
Thank you.
Farewell, my beloved. I will be here waiting for you.
Ah, sweet Jesus. That went better than I thought. No skill checks. It just wants you to lie, so you'll lose a little bit of alignment. But chaotic good is exactly what we. Chaotic good wouldn't give two shits about lying to a crazy spirit just to save his own life, and I think that's very smart thing to do. Uh, I'm not gonna change outfit since we're so close to her, and she sort of said he can get out of here. No, nothing said about anyone else, so I'm going to just slowly mosey towards the summoning chamber. Probably give the finger to the demon while we're at it. I found a frozen tear from Arcanian and gave it to the ghost of Suther. She was pleased and agreed to help me return to the surface. She said that she created a portal in the summoning chamber, which will transport me out of this cursed tomb at last. Ah. Yeah, I'm still skeptical if the demons. What could the demon do though? And if he starts trouble, I'll just basically blast his ass with the scroll. I think I'll still keep the armor. It's very expensive armor, but I need strength boost. No, yeah, I can't get a strength boost. Ah, shit. But at that point, you might as well just keep the shield. I mean, might have to deal with the demon in a fight. What I need is to buy time so I can cast the banishment. Apparently he's eternally trapped here, so he ain't going nowhere. He's probably going to stay here more than a few thousand years. Hello. Can I taunt him a little bit? Because that's a good idea. Nobody. I was just leaving. Except how do you leave? I passed through the portal that Suthair had opened for me, and it brought me back to the forest of Grimwood. I would never have thought that these dark twisted trees could ever look so comforting, but I know now that there are more foul and evil things to be found in the deep places of the world, and in the depths of of mortal hearts. I finally escaped the Cave of Songs after learning its secrets. It is a place built by desperation and destroyed by grief. It contains a sadness that cannot be comforted. The wounds of Suthair and Arcanian will only be healed with the passage of years, thousands upon thousands of years. I brush these disturbing thoughts from my mind and head back to the warmth of civilization. Where exactly are we? Can I visit the druid? Slow motion druid. I suppose there's not much here that can happen. Maybe a little. Ooh. At last we've escaped. It is good to breathe the fresh forest air once again. Ah, yes, Larian. I too am glad to have escaped that place. I only wish we could have done more to help. I don't think it was possible to help. Sothair and Arcanian were doomed long before you and I were born, and I have learned much, my friend. Now even the intentions born of love can be corrupted by arrogance and end in despair. It is a sad tale. Do you think there was justice in what happened in that tomb? Justice? I do not know. Events unfold without concern for such things. It is our duty to bring meaning into history. Wisely said, my friend. Come now. Let us return to the warmth of civilized lands once again. End? No? I suppose you can still do things. Maybe, why the fuck am I doing this? Because my character would hold this shit there to be solved, that's why basically. I'm not gonna be able to keep any of that gold, so I'm not sure why the fuck I'm bothering. What I would like to do is go and tell the deep gnomes what the kind of crystal actually is. I feel they need to know what the story is. They're the only civilized group that could basically have some kind of real interest in that outside just some kind of a story.
Hello.
500. I think I would keep the broken heart pearl as a souvenir. Good items, 20,000.
I have
So
to lighten this load.
30,000 gold. Not bad for this amount of work though, 40,000. Good amount of equipment still with us, good amount of treasure otherwise. More or less 40,000, yes. Ring of protection +2. Right. I'm gonna go back into the cavern if I can. However, I might as well talk about my thoughts on the module on the way there. Um, I kind of like it. I still think Larian was incredibly useful at the start, but once we got into the cave, uh, I mean, in the section where the Elven Sorceress section starts, it became more or less not necessarily a burden, but I feel it would be more interesting to play without him. So we do have the giant here. Trying to sneak around things. Okay, there's no giants anymore. Well, whatever. Trying to use your limited resources to do things. So, go home, by the way. I don't give a shit about that. I want to talk to the gnome. But that's because I've picked a character that has the bard level or a caster level, so I could use a lot of these things. Or other type of characters that might not have been an option. So Larian is definitely a very welcome addition to this, but yeah, I think this class was not the best kind of combination of things. Also, I suppose it's a nice change of pace not to have a massive campaign of some kind. Sometimes it's nice to play shorter stories or shorter adventures. I have to say I'm not a fan of these extremely low level adventures. I feel like you need at least a couple levels to have anything half decent even going for an adventure. It's just level 1 characters are sort of worthless. They just can't do shit, and yeah, unlucky strike can ruin anyone's day, but the level 1 character, it's just so fragile that, and your options to do things are so limited that it's not particularly all that fun to play. Especially with the limited tactical settings that Neverwinter Nights typically has. So I would have wished the same more or less idea with maybe a character that starts from level 3 maybe, from 3 to 6, 3 to 7. That's the length of the adventure level wise, something like that. I think would have been more interesting to play, because you could at least try a few more things. I don't think it would have drastically changed anything. Just a alternative way of doing things. A bit more interesting on the gameplay part. More options. At the same time, this forces you to use your options more. In some ways, Wand of Sleep would have been totally worthless in those. Here, when you end up at level 5, it's incredibly useful. So, all those options really matter. Usually, you don't give two shits about the Wand of Negative Energy rate. And to be fair, I got it at the point where there were really no living opponents anymore. But you don't care because it's too little. You can do much more already. So it's a waste of your round to shoot something like that. With this limited low-level characters,
Greetings.
that's not quite true. Okay.
Greetings, Hand Gwent. It is good to see that you have returned.
Yes, and I have learned the true nature of your crystal pilgrim.
Indeed. Please tell me what you've learned.
You recount the story of Sulfair and Arcanian, and of the tragedy that befell them both. Nur listens attentively, shaking his head.
This is so very sad. Please do not tell this tale to the other gnomes. It is better that they do not know,
Why not?
because they worship the pilgrim. It gives them comfort to think of him as their protector.
Very well. I'll do that. I just wanted someone to know. That's it. I think it's also sort of a I don't care if they know the truth, but I dislike the idea of that they basically would be working under false pretenses, because you never know how that goes. Now they, at least someone in charge there knows what's really going on, so it allows him also to interpret events possibly in their correct setting or a correct framework. He knows what will be going on. That things start to happen now that he understands the situation properly. The fact that he allows other people to believe things differently, that's fine. It won't hurt them in any way. And the man in Crystal isn't, or Crystal Pilgrim is in no way a threat to the deep gnomes here, so it's a harmless life. Yeah, as far as this module is concerned, uh, I think it's a fairly well made low level module. You don't have to have a huge amount of trash fights. There's a couple of interesting encounters where you can easily die, although if the roll of luck goes your way, you'll easily win too. So fights are interesting enough.
Now, strike swiftly.
I need sneak attacks, otherwise we'll never win this. Are you still overpowering? No, but he'll do a huge amount of damage with hits though. And I could use hits too.
Taste of my wrath.
I mean, overall, yeah, a good module. The story is decent enough. I mean, there's a limit to what type of stories you can tell in a short adventure like this. The encounter is interesting enough, loot interesting enough. I mean, nothing special, but fitting for the setting and the situation. Useful in the encounters that comes your way. And because you're low level, you encounter creatures that are simply above you. I'll tell him that, tell me something useful and I may help you. Danger in cave, giant bear, and insects, okay. North, around water, very big insect. That is not very helpful, Goblin. What do these insects look like? How many legs do they have? Beetles, probably fire beetles. They're not too dangerous, but let's approach them with caution. Okay. Tell us about the gnomes, right? Here's pretty gem. An amethyst. Okay. I think we're going to have get back to the Hobgoblin Inn and maybe tell the storyteller what happened here. You could go and kill the giant there too, but I don't think so. I'll just go to the inn. I think this is the end of the module basically. I wouldn't say this module is great, but relatively short, good, solid story-based module. That's it. This and I think one of the well, there are really a couple of kinds of these. Uh, one is where it's a lot based on dialogue, things like that, and another is that there's more focus on gameplay. And I feel this is more focused on gameplay type of story. It's like you have your fairly clear path set out for you that you can walk, but at the same time, if you if you are in the game and keep your eyes open, you observe things, you will be presented with opportunities and options that are not all that obvious. Like with the frozen tier, it's obvious that the primary way that the game tries to get you to do things is to do the deal with the demon. However, tier doesn't fit into any part of the path, so you are left with a clue that you can do other things, but there's no one is telling you what to do. So it's not about finding some kind of a paper clue or a journal somewhere or go through a huge dialogue tree to try to get things. It's sort of the world is presented to you, and I feel it's a fairly finely presented world overall, with little details and how it's built. But you actually have to do things on your own without any kind of hand holding to get
We
things done
won't
in
both
there.
walk away. Now! Strike swiftly!
And overall, it works just fine. I don't even know what the one. I don't think I ever fought the boss spiders or the wolves here. I don't even know what the hostile adventuring group was in one of the sections. I'm not sure I got everything from the regenerating pool temple at the start of the game. So I might have missed some options too. Same with some of the gear we found in the cave. And that is good. It's very good. Still, I suppose there's one weakness about this type of story limited or narrow story based gaming is that uh, there aren't that many options for you to take really. There were clearly at least I would say 3 solutions at the end, but most of the time it's either just kill everything that or avoid them. I think with the kobolds, or was it goblins, we had the option to let some of the creatures inside the cave system itself to fight each other and deal with them that way. So there's some room for cleverness. Same with the how you can deal with certain encounters. Get the I think we got one ogre to give us the key to his treasure chest, so we could just rob him. We dealt with the split witches by having them fight each other and the like. So you have some options. I don't want to dismiss the option the game does give you as insignificant, but honestly, it doesn't. It's not a strong role-playing module in that sense. The role-playing seems to more or less just happen in the things you do instead of going through dialogue screens. And that's not a bad thing necessarily. Just a different way of doing things.
What can I do for you?
I have explored the Cave of Songs and learned its secrets.
Is that so? How grand. Please tell me what you found.
Deep within the cave there is a secret sanctum, built over 6,000 years ago by the elven sorceress Suthere Silandri. She constructed it in order to capture Abatezu Lord and to force him to grant her wish.
And what was that wish?
She wanted a drop of the demon's blood to give to her human lover Arcanine Gillen, so that he would live forever. Unfortunately, with the eternal life that the drop bestowed, it also tainted, I assume tainted, Ukrainian's soul and deformed his body. In anguish, he left Suther forever.
What happened then?
She went mad and uttered a curse that imprisoned Arcanian within a crystal obelisk. He is still there, slowly moving toward the surface and restful oblivion, but it will take him thousands of years.
And what happened to this Suther?
He is waiting for him to return, waiting forever.
Ah, that is a magnificent tale. Love, betrayal, and tragedy. I believe you, not only because you seem like a trustworthy man, but also because what matters to me most is the cadence of a story, not its veracity. I shall set this tale to a ballad, and this ballad shall extol your heroism, Hand Quinn.
Thank you, Vagar.
No, thank you, Han. Here, take this as a token of my respect. These gloves were given to me by my teacher, Chocolar Toll. Perhaps you will find them useful in your adventures.
That's a pair of gauntlets. That's it. Gloves of magnificent gesture, +1 charisma, +4 facade, or her Wade, charm person level 10, 1 use per day. Yay! I returned to the Hopping Hobgoblin Inn and recounted my story to Vagar the Capricious. He was very pleased and gifted me a pair of magical gloves. Hopefully his songs will carry the legend of Soothfare and Arcadian to others, so that they may be remembered, even if they cannot be helped. We left the Baltezu there. Eh, don't care. I think that's pretty much it. The main quest line is done.
Greetings.
I just returned from the Cave of Songs.
How did you now? And did you find the dragon?
No, there is no dragon, but the cave is haunted by ancient spirits.
Oh, sure, spirits. Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Yes, the spirits of Suther Sulandrieth and Arcadian Galanen. They've haunted the place for over 6,000 years.
Never heard of them. Perhaps you should talk to the bard over there. He collects tall tales.
Hmm, alright, I will. Yeah, I think this is pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. Right. So to wrap it up, short, well, relatively short adventure, story paced, fairly well done, so I'd say it's good. And a low level adventure, you don't already. Usually low level adventures are piles of shit, unless it's basically designed specifically for low level adventures. I mean, this is a fairly decent chunk of an adventure, and most of it was done through level, I'd say, 2 to 4. So you don't always have to go kill rats in some guy's basement or do something like that just because you're low level. I honestly wish more games that include low level gaming actually did something decent with those low levels. It doesn't have to be boring shit just because you're a low level character. So Yeah, I'd say this is an honestly a good adventure. Good short story-based adventure. Maybe actually this might be a good opening to another adventure. I think now that I think about it, starts at level 5. The Prophet.